Yesterday, 100 Thieves LCS team gave me infinitely more reasoning as to why pro teams suck at drafting. I will be analyzing both sides of the draft here, but mainly focusing on 100 Thieves blunders. Let's take a look. NRG opened with Milio first pick, which is bad because they banned Lucian. If they're afraid of facing Lucian Nami, they can still pick Zeri or someone longer range like Aphelios or Kog'Maw. It would be much better to open with Zeri pick because Yuumi and Milio are both open. This mistake allows 100 Thieves to grab Zeri for themselves and get the power pick Annie for mid lane. The Annie pick is good here because NRG has already locked support, so they can't take away the Milio, guaranteeing Yuumi for 100 Thieves. NRG answer with Aphelios, which is fine, and Syndra into the Annie, which isn't what I would pick, but is also fine. At this point, the draft is basically won for 100 Thieves, with Zeri, Yuumi, and Annie locked in. But the second phase of draft is where they lose all of their brain cells. You'll notice after second ban phase that K'Sante is still open. What 100T is lacking right now is frontline, and considering he is one of the most broken champs in the game, it is clear that K'Sante is the best possible pick on R4. Even Sion or Ornn would be completely fine. But let's see what they do instead. And this, believe it or not, is only the second most troll thing they do in the draft. Lee Sin is just an awful champion. It doesn't matter if you're mechanically talented on him, he will always be useless inside the game. NRG rightly answer with the K'Sante pick, and then take Kha'Zix, which does fine into Lee Sin early and outscales him by a mile. So, 100 Thieves have two options for the last pick into K'Sante. You can match tank with something like Ornn or Sion, or you can play to beat the K'Sante in 1v1 with Garen or Alawi. But let's see what they do instead. You guessed it, this is the most troll thing they do in the draft. Now tell me how a team goes from auto winning the game with their first 3 picks to auto losing the game with their last 2. With Zeri, Yuumi, and Annie locked, they have committed to late game scaling and 5v5. Lee Sin and Renekton by themselves are 2 of the most useless champs out there, but they have negative synergy with the first 3 picks. This is a horrendous draft error that completely lost them the game in draft. Straight and simple, with this team comp, you have a 0% chance of winning the game. Don't believe me? Let's see how Renekton and Lee Sin did this game. And there is the 100 Thieves Nexus exploding.